Hey, this is the Justice for All podcast, guys. Part two of our 9/11 and Colin Kaepernick Nike situation. And Gage, you want to tell people what your last point was just to refresh?
Yeah, well, I was basically saying how people in this country keep voting, like people in Chicago and, Detroit and San Francisco keep voting for these same, for the same party for 40 years and, nothing is getting done for them. And it's like, why do you keep voting for the same group if they're not doing anything for you? And, and the Democrats now are leaning towards socialism and stuff like that. And it's like you look at the way California is, with people living in tents because they can't afford to live because, rent is high, taxes are through the roof. And, even 100 grand out there, you're barely making it at that
Yeah,
point.
and I
It's like,
think the good thing is though, I think people are starting to, some people, are starting to realize things. I think if we had like a guy like Trump that was sane, I think they would win in a landslide.
yeah.
I think that's
What really
like
scares
people
me is
want
these people
authenticity,
that
but
are
people
sitting there
like believe.
protesting. What scares me is like how people like Bernie Sanders have so much support, and they're sitting there saying, they're basically embracing socialism by saying, oh, you deserve free college, you deserve free housing, you deserve, all this free stuff, and it's like, how are you going to pay for that? You're going to pay through it, like you're going to pay for it through taxes. Your tax rate's going to go significantly up. Most people over in Europe, like take Denmark for instance, they pay 50% in taxes. So that's half your paycheck right there into taxes to wait and, for a government run system, which is going to be shitty because the government always does everything shitty.
I
I mean, look
agree.
at how they handle Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid and everything else. You really want them running your health care? You really want them running your housing situation? It's like you'll be sitting there waiting on a waiting list to visit a doctor, stuff like that, just like they are in Canada, and you're going to be sitting there paying out the ass for it. And why would you want to do that?
Yeah, I know. And I
Our
mean,
system isn't perfect now, but the solution is not to switch to a different system. It's to fix the system we have now.
I know
Because,
that, but like people listen.
with all of our flaws, our system is still really good.
Well, yeah, but people are misinformed all the time, and they listen to everything that other people like these people that just try to make a quick buck and don't care about factual information anymore, and like the celebrities and all the thought leaders in this country are on the same side. Everything that we do, like they're all on the same, like it's one way of thinking, and that's what's dangerous. And you know, I think we are starting to get to a point where people are starting to become okay with the First Amendment right being taken away, as we're seeing in the tech community, because people don't give a fuck. People don't give a fuck that
Hmm.
people like Alex Jones and all these right wingers are getting literally like kicked out and not being able to have a voice in these places that I don't think it's like a let the um let the market correct itself anymore, man. I think we're getting to a pretty dangerous spot right now, and I think that something needs to be done. Legislation, like with the legislations, like last week, like it's getting pretty bad, and they're okay with like just muting people, and people seem to be okay with that because their feelings are getting hurt, and really, the First Amendment is about we everybody has the right to say what they want and combat bad ideas with other trains of thought, not to suppress other people's opinions because we can look elsewhere. You don't have to listen to Alex Jones if you don't listen to Alex Jones, but Alex Jones has a right, to say what he wants. Everybody has a right to say what they want in this country, and to combat that, as long as it's not criminal, I think especially he should, and I think we're losing sight of what is right in this country, and it's because of bad ideas, and that's why I'm not afraid to like offend people anymore because it's like these are just bad ideas. These are bad ideas, and it's not a
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, they are. They're totally bad ideas. Well, and that's the thing.
And
And
that's
it's like,
why I'm saying, like, I think like Google and all these companies definitely be held accountable because they control too much information, and then they're obviously colluding against one side. They obviously are. Did you see those videos that came out with those Google higher ups after the election? All the higher ups at
I've
Google were
I've
upset.
heard about it. I haven't
They're
watched them
crying. These
yet.
people are crying. They're upset. They're saying how we're going to do our best to get back. And it's just like with the higher ups in our DOJ. It's like with the Democrats. It's like with CNN and left wing. They're all on the same side, and we are obviously seeing that. It's very dangerous and needs to be addressed. I don't think it's a conspiracy, man. It's not a conspiracy. It is happening. They are trying their
No,
best. They
yeah,
are
that's
trying
not a
their best
conspiracy.
to suppress a whole opinion group, like, and ideas to get their people elected. Like we were just talking about previously to the show, they are trying to take away these other ideas as much as possible and influence it as much as possible. You talk about collusion, it's happening in front of your eyes, people. It's not fucking Russia. It's not fucking Trump. Even if it is, I don't give a fuck right now because this is the real collusion and it's dangerous as fuck. And they're fucking with us. They're fucking with our rights, and it needs to stop right now. And we need to hold these people accountable.
Well, and the path we're going down right now is a really dark path. If we continue down this path of censorship and everything else, it's going to end one of two ways. Either they're going to censor everything, or we're going to be end up being a communist dictatorship where the government controls everything and they control what you say and what you do. Or we're going to end up in a fascist dictatorship because the people will rise up and say, I'm tired of this shit, but they'll elect someone who's actually radical and wants to kill off these people.
The government is daddy.
Think, you look at Hitler. That's exactly what happened. After World War One, the Germans were destitute. Their economy was destroyed. Everyone was poor and everything else. Hitler came along and said, "I know how to fix this." And he blamed the Jews, and everyone got on board, and then they started massacring them. It's like,
hey,
you really want that to happen in this country now?
Hey, it's like, look, Trump supporters, Republicans, they're saying crazy shit. Let's, they're like us. Let's censor them. Then, guess what's going to happen? I'm saying, like, it's going to end in death. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. It's happened before. Like you just fucking said. It's happening now, but worse. It's happening now because information is quick, and we know everything, and that's what's crazy.
Whenever you have,
and it doesn't matter.
Biased sources controlling.
Yeah, people getting stabbed.
And what we see.
Yeah, people getting stabbed. People getting threatened at these fucking Republican things. Democratic representatives calling for violence on Republican. What the fuck is this? What is going on? It's like, it's very bad, dude. It's like, I don't get how. I don't know. I don't even know. I have no words.
Could you imagine if we did that 8 years ago?
Can you imagine if you did that 4 years ago?
Yeah. Could you imagine if the Republicans did the same thing to Obama?
No, because I didn't think we could do this.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
you look at how it's progressively gotten worse.
It has.
Over the past 10 years, or 12 years, or whatever you want to call it, it's progressively gone farther and farther downhill. Down into a rabbit hole, and it's like, at this point, if we continue down this path, it's going to end badly.
I know.
And people need to start, seeing this.
I'm telling you what, there's a couple of hills I'm going to die on, Gage. And when it comes to my rights, that is a hill I'm going to die on. I'm going to lay it all on the line. And if I have to go down swinging, I will, because I'm going to die anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's where we're going to head that. We're heading that way if we don't do anything.
Yeah, I know.
Like soon.
We're heading that way quick.
It's pretty bad, sad, dude. Like, and that's what I'm saying to you. Like, that's why it's so important to me. That's why I'm so passionate. Because, like, you call me whatever, Trump's stupid, whatever, whatever. But one thing I can say about the man, he's not trying to take your fucking rights away. And he's definitely patriotic. And I'd rather have that and deal with bullshit on Twitter than someone tell me one thing and blind and turn bat another eye. Next tomorrow, I'm not able to say what I want, or I'm not allowed to defend myself from the police because I will offend somebody. That's the day that I'm going to fucking go down with the fight.
Well, and that's the thing. And identity politics truly is the enemy.
Yeah,
because you're lumping all
really
these people
dangerous.
into a group, and you're having all these.
It's not
groups
okay to
go
be a
after
white
each
male.
other.
It's not okay to be a white male anymore in this country.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's the thing, and that's how they're taking away your rights. They disguise it as, oh, well, you're offending someone else, and we can't have that, so we need to take this away. And then that's how they get people on board, because they cry racism, they cry sexism, they cry whatever. Whenever you're just trying to express an opinion that's not racist, that's not sexist, or anything else. Obviously, I think we can all agree that racism is bad, but at the point that we're at now, they cry racism so much that it's become watered down.
It's like
it's not worth anything anymore.
Well, and here's the thing too.
They call everything racist.
They call Trump a racist. They call him a Nazi. They threaten to kill him. Say go out and threaten these people that support him, and people are going to think like that's okay. Or when there's actually a Hitler, it's going to be watered down, and we're going to be like, oh, we've heard that before. That's what I'm saying. It's like you can't call Trump a Nazi because he's nothing close to a dictator. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
No, yeah, he's not. Yeah, he hasn't tried to, take away your rights or anything else. He's not sitting there trying to control the media. That's the other side. It's controlling the media right now. I mean, literally the only conservative news outlet, mainstream, that you have is Fox News. And even then, they're debatable, half their hosts.
Yeah.
And, you have a lot more conservative online sources, but, mainstream, you don't have that much. And then on the Democrat side,
maybe like Glenn Beck,
CNN, MSNBC, ABC, CNBC, freaking, whoever, ESPN,
late night talk shows.
Like,
late night talk shows.
Yeah, late night talk shows.
Any movie.
Exactly.
Any show.
Yeah. And you look at what they do to the conservative ones. Look at Last Man Standing. ABC canceled that for a year, and Fox brought it back, but
Roseanne.
I guarantee you, they cancel it because it was conservative. They can say whatever they want to about, the ratings, and it was like, ratings were good for that show.
Oh, Roseanne fucking is racist. Is she? I think she's just crazy.
Yeah, she's in my case, but
you knew what you're getting.
But they don't hold my problem with that whole thing is they don't hold the same standards.
Yeah.
They'll fire her for saying what she did about Valerie Jarrett, which fine, they have the right to do so. But then the reporter can go on TV. I forget his name, but the one that was saying that Trump's son should be kidnapped and molested.
Yeah.
And then that, nothing is ever done about that. That's totally fine. Or you have Kathy Griffin going and posting pictures of her beheading Trump and stuff like that. That's fine.
Or you have Sarah Jeong from the New York Times posting how she hates white people. And then Candace Owen, who's a black conservative, takes her tweets and she replaces white people with black people, and she got banned from Twitter.
Yeah.
But it's okay to discriminate against white people if you're Asian and you work for the New York Times.
Mm-hmm. Well, and they're all in league together. You know, whether it's, you know, the government and the media and these giant corporations like Twitter and Facebook and Google, they're all in league together. And they control everything.
Well, and that's why we need to legally take action. It's not even a question anymore. It's clearly collusion.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and like I said, I don't understand how these giant corporations have not violated antitrust laws.
They are.
I mean, they're so big and they control so much information. It's like I don't understand how they have monopolies on everything. I don't understand how they have not violated antitrust laws.
Because they're paying the people that make the rules a bunch of money to do nothing about it, dude.
Yeah.
Is it really that hard? I just explained it.
Yeah, no, I know.
They're the ones that fucking actually control everything, dude. Don't you understand that? They're the ones. Actually, the Chinese do, if you want to be technical. But they're the money guys. They're the ones that fucking, they control us. They do what they want. We're pawns in their fucking game. That's what I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, I agree.
Like, it's not a conspiracy. Like, people think, oh, no, this guy's off the rails. No, it's not. It's clear as fucking day. Anybody that can fucking logically explain shit can see this.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you see it every day.
Yeah, it's apparent. Like, it's clear as day now. I don't need documents to see it, even. Like, I see it based on what we just explained. Exactly everything.
Well, and it's like I said today with freaking, you know, before this podcast about Ben and Jerry's posting, you know, all these Facebook ads about political things and, you know, oh, you should vote for this in November. You should vote for that in November. It's like, why is a giant corporation posting what I should vote for in November on my Facebook timeline
instead of like try our new, you know, flavored ice cream? It's like,
yeah, it's like that kind of shit should be illegal, honestly.
I don't know. I mean, whatever, they can do what they want, right? But it's like, yeah, it's stupid. Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, people don't give a fuck about. I don't get it. They don't care about the consumer. People don't care about people giving them money. They just do what the fuck they want.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Well, yeah, but it's like people should have to make their own informed decisions. They shouldn't have these giant corporations forcing political views on people.
Exactly. That's what's dangerous. That's what I'm saying. Like, they're all on the same fucking page.
Yeah. But,
oh, man. But yeah, so Colin Kaepernick. So, yeah, so needless to say, I don't support any of that. I think it's a poor effort on Nike. But anyway, you want to talk about, what do you believe about 9/11? Or do you want to say any words to start off? We'll transition here.
You want to take a break first and then switch to that topic?
Yeah, that's okay. Did you have anything else to say first, though, about like Colin Kaepernick, Nike, or anything we just talked about?
I don't think so. I think we got all of our points across on that.
Yeah, I agree.
I think the whole thing's stupid. But Nike has the right to do what they want. But yeah. I just think it's pointless on both sides to be outraged about it at this point.
I agree. I'm just indifferent. I don't give a fuck. I troll people and it's funny. So buy Adidas. Exactly. Buy Adidas. Burn your Nikes. Burn your Nikes. Buy Adidas today. Adidas. We are brought to you by Adidas. I'm just kidding. We're not. Yeah. But Adidas, shout out, because that'd be badass. All right, so this is part 2. We'll come back with 9/11 tribute at the other side. Part 3 coming at you.